I started a faceless TikTok quote page for fun, and somehow it started paying me. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how a simple TikTok quote page can attract brand deals, generate income, and why most creators completely overlook this opportunity. Back in like 2022, I decided to start this TikTok quote page just to see like what would happen. My goal was simple: to connect with people going through similar experiences. I didn't just want to connect with others, I wanted to provide motivation to those who needed it. Before I made this TikTok page, I had no idea that it was going to blow up the way that it did. Brands started to reach out to me once I hit a certain amount of followers. Also started to realize that I was catching the attention from creators with much larger platforms. What started as a simple quote page evolved into a real source of income. I just knew that I wanted to help people, but I also wanted to get the benefits of getting monetized on TikTok and working with brands. In this video, I'm going to walk you guys through how I attracted brands, how I monetized the page, and the lessons that I use if I was starting from scratch today. The very first thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is choosing a niche, okay? I know it sounds cliche. I know everyone says this, but choosing a niche is very important. The good thing about quote pages, you can talk about literally anything. Like, it does not have to be specific, but you do want to start off with a certain kind of genre. You just want to make sure that your first videos are containing the same exact niche. Most of the time when you choose a specific niche, this draws in engagement, likes, comments, reshares, reposts, especially when people can relate to it. A lot of people tend to look for that emotional connection or something that they can repost. So it's very important that you post relatable content. Once I chose the niche that I was intrigued with or that I wanted to start off with, I had to set up my TikTok page. So I'm gonna insert what mine's look like. Getting started was surprisingly easy. Like, I created a simple TikTok account with a clean user and a clean profile picture. I wrote a short bio. Like I said, I'm going to insert my page right here. I wrote a short bio. I did end up changing my bio throughout the years. Some people like to put their email in their bio. Some people like to just put like a cute, catchy catchphrase in there. I feel like catchphrases are better, and just focus on making the page look consistent. Do not post once every week. I know it depends on what you have going on in your personal life, but if you genuinely want to gain traction, you have to post consistently. As long as you're posting multiple times within that week, you're going to gain traction. Good thing about a quote page, you don't really need crazy tools or crazy apps or a subscription or something that you have to invest in. You're investing your time instead of your money into a quote page. You also want to make sure that you're using the correct hashtag. So if you're posting sad quotes, whatever the case may be, you're going to put hashtag sad quotes, deep quotes, feelings, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that your hashtags relate to what you're posting as well. Now we're going to get into the content creation process. My workflow was straightforward. I would find a deep quote and just pair it with a good visual. Like I said, you can use Pinterest, amazing, free, easy app to use. You want to choose a trending audio. It doesn't have to always be trending, but if it's like a good, nice audio, I would say use it. I said it doesn't always have to be trending, but just make sure that it makes sense with what you're saying. You cannot have a Young Miami song with... Now, has it been days where my videos kind of giving like, is she sad, is she happy? Yeah, but you want to make sure that your song makes sense with your quote. Once you get used to the posting system, which I did, I got used to posting. I started to post several videos in one setting. Point blank period. I mean, at least 14 videos daily. That's how adaptive I got to my posting schedule, my posting system. Going here, uploading, finding a quote, even if it's just off the dome. Like, it's times where I would post a quote off the dome because I'm already like, you know, feeling that quote, or I'm already thinking of it through the day, or I have a thought through the day and I'm like, hey, I could use that. Somebody else might need to hear that. Somebody else probably feels the same way. Once I got used to it, my workflow just started flowing. Make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself. Make sure that it doesn't get repetitive, but also be in tune with your posting workflow. It also goes into the posting strategy. Posting consistently gets you retention. Consistency made a huge difference in my page interaction. So you want to just make sure that you're posting consistently. People are going to expect you to post. That's just the reality of it. They're going to expect it. And that's a good thing, because if they're expecting it, they're going to be checking your page. And if they're checking your page, you're going to get interaction. Once I started to post consistently, I started to realize that my page was growing tremendously. I mean, I was getting like 50 views. Be grateful, because that's still a lot. But I was getting 10 views, 20 views, 50 views. I started to venture out So at first I was starting off with photos that were flipping around. It had they had like little like animations to them, which I felt like I was doing too much because sometimes basic is better. But I went from that to funny comedy videos that I found off Pinterest to posting regular pictures. But I realized that once I started to kind of venture out with the different niches and just trying to figure out what my audience would like, one video blew up. And after that one video blew up, everything started to change. That one video led to more followers. And in that moment, it encouraged me to keep posting, because once you see like, okay, you're not getting that many views, it's normal to start to feel discouraged. But in that moment, you don't feed into the discouragement. You keep posting, you keep going, and that's how you gain traction. Once I started to get in the workflow, figure out my niche, figure out the kind of look I was going for, I started to get paid. And this is how. Brands will reach out to you when they see that you have a certain amount of followers, certain amount of videos. They will want you to promote their product on your page. Some brands have a refundable review, while others have free samples that they will send out to you, and you will literally get it for free. So you're promoting their products for free. You're getting a free product. Then if people are purchasing the product through your link, you'll be making money from it. I'm going to just show you guys how many brands I talked to. Like, it was crazy. It's crazy. These are packages that I've recently received. These products I recently received. This case, this iPad case. Once you reach a certain amount of followers, you can be eligible for the TikTok Reward Creator Program. You also can make money from getting on TikTok Live, which I don't really do, but you can do that as well. And then once you reach at least 10,000 followers, which I'm on the way to 10,000, you can get paid for your videos on your page. One of the mistakes that I've made was like getting discouraged and stop posting. I can't do this. I'm done with this. This is not working for me. And I just like stop posting. The moment that you stop posting after being consistent all that time, you hurt your interactions, you hurt your shares and your likes, your comments, because then your page has to get readjusted to the algorithm. Another mistake that I do want to get into is worrying too much, making sure every little detail is perfect, making sure you do want to make sure that it's presentable, it makes sense, your spelling's correct. You don't want people reading your video and like, huh, going back reading again like, huh, like, no, you don't want that. So you do want to make sure that you're correcting errors and you're making sure things make sense, but you don't want to look so deep into it that you're spending hours, under 50 minutes or under 10 minutes to post a quote. It should not take you 50 minutes. If you're starting out, then I absolutely understand. You got to get into the rhythm of things. But if you've been doing it for like a year, your goal is to push out at least 2 to 3 videos a day. Because there's been times that I wouldn't even realize I'm doing it, and it's just muscle memory. I'm sitting here scrolling, giving other people interaction. Why am I not investing in my own channel? If you can sit and scroll and give other people interaction, you can invest in your own channel. And always remember that consistency beats perfection. Worry less, be more creative, post more. Stay patient. Like I said, when you start off, TikTok is just getting used to your page. You're probably not going to get that much traction. And if you do, they're the blessed ones, okay? Because some people do post and they get like 125,000 views on their first post. You got to be optimistic. It can happen. If your video goes viral at the first start, things will be easier. If it doesn't, you just got to keep going. That's all. Because even to this day, I'll get videos with like 30 views. I have over 1 million something likes. I have videos with 2 million views, 3,000, a lot. But yeah, I still sometimes get videos that flop, and that's okay. That's part of social media. Everything's not going to go viral. Some advice that I will give to beginners. So if you post at 9 p.m. and you get 100,000 views, but you post at 2 p.m. and you get only 300 views, you still want to post at both times, but your main goal is to make sure you're posting at 9 p.m. because that's when most of your viewers are awake. They do have another app that you can use, but I don't use that app because I don't really use it. That's just making things more difficult than it has to be. At midnight, I'm going to be posting at midnight. If they're doing better in the morning, I'm going to be focused on posting in the morning. So if I wake up at 9, I'm in the bed chilling. First, I'm going to talk to God. Then I'm going to read my Bible. And then, then you worry about the other stuff after that. But on your free time, post. This experiment taught me so much. You get an idea in your head, it was meant for you to get the idea, because it can really help you in the long run. It can be meaningful. It can be impactful. Like someone could just see one of your quotes, and it can prevent them from self-harm, or it can prevent them from being depressed, or it can help them through their depression, just to know that they're not going through it alone, or someone's not, you know, crazy. Your video could be confirmation for someone. Like, you never know who you might be helping. So it's always important to answer your calling, and it's always important to believe in yourself. You do not need a huge following. You don't need expensive equipment or years of experience just to get started. Taking action long enough to see what happens. If you always give up, or you give up on yourself, you'll never know because you gave up. So it's important to just keep going just so you can see what happens. So that's it for today's video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell saying for more of this. Thank you guys for watching.